This video is on build inner strength. Let's dive right in. Hey, what's up? Welcome. I'm Dr. TJ, a Harvard-trained surgeon and a motivational speaker. In this channel, it is all about you. Picture this, a young 25-year-old man sits in his barely heated apartment in New York City. He's just been rejected for the 1,500th time. He has $106 in his bank account. He's so broke that he has to make an impossible choice. Sell his only friend, his dog Butkus, for $40 just to buy food. He was living in extreme poverty, unable to afford food for himself or his dog. Most people would quit. Most people would give up on their dream and get a real job. But this man didn't quit. And what happened next changed cinema history forever and created one of the most iconic characters ever placed on the screen. Today, I'm going to tell you the true story of how one person's unstoppable inner strength, resilience, and consistency turned complete failure into legendary success. And by the end, you'll discover the exact 3 methods he used to build that inner strength. Methods backed by psychology that you can start using today. Before we dive in, I need you to do 3 things. First, hit that like button and subscribe to this channel right now. Trust me, you don't want to miss future videos that could transform your life. Second, drop a comment below telling me which part of the world you are watching this from. Write your city and country. I want to know where in the world this life transformation is taking place. Are you in New York, London, Tokyo? Let me know. I read every single comment. Third, and this is crucial, this entire video is interconnected like pieces of a puzzle. Each part builds on the previous one. Don't skip ahead. Don't jump around. If you want to learn fully how to build inner strength in your life, you need to watch from beginning to end. The story I'm about to tell reveals 3 powerful methods for building inner strength, plus the 3 hidden traps that will derail you if you're not careful. But you'll only get the full picture if you stay with me till the very end. Now settle in for the next several minutes because the story I'm about to share will completely change how you see failure, adversity, and the power of refusing to give up. By the end, you'll know exactly who this person is, and more importantly, you'll discover exactly how to build inner strength in your life. Our story begins on July 6, 1946 in Hell's Kitchen, New York City. A child is born, but the delivery doesn't go smoothly. During birth, forceps accidentally sever a nerve in the infant's face, leaving part of his face and tongue paralyzed. This gives him a distinctive drooping mouth and slurred speech that will follow him his entire life. Growing up, this boy faces relentless teasing. Kids make fun of how he talks. Teachers don't expect much from him. His parents have a violent, turbulent relationship that ends in divorce. And he's shuffled between foster homes and boarding schools. At one school, he's literally voted the student most likely to end up in an electric chair. But here's what's remarkable. Despite everything working against him, this young man discovers something that makes him feel alive, namely acting and storytelling. When he's on stage, when he's creating characters, the pain fades away. He finds purpose. He attends multiple schools. Later, he receives an athletic scholarship to attend the American College in Switzerland. While at the college, he develops a strong interest in acting, especially after auditioning and acting in the play Death of a Salesman. He later enrolls at the University of Miami to study drama. But he can't wait. The dream is too strong. In 1969, he drops out and moves to New York City to become an actor, to pursue his dreams, his ambition. He's 23 years old and he truly believes he is going to make it. Everything is cruising along beautifully. He's following his dream. What could go wrong? Well, reality hits like a freight train. For the next several years, this young man faces rejection after rejection after rejection. Not dozens, not hundreds, much more than that. By 1973, he had gone over 1,000 acting calls and auditions in New York City. It is said that about 1,500, and almost every single one ended the same way, rejected. There were comments relating to his appearance, his slurred speech, and his voice. Casting directors see his paralyzed face and slurred speech as liabilities. They can't imagine him as a leading man. The money runs out, he takes any job he can find. Cleaning lion cages at the Central Park Zoo, ushering at movie theaters, working as a bouncer. Not having much success in New York City, this young man leaves the city for Hollywood around 1974 to continue pursuing his acting career. By 1975, he hits rock bottom while living in a roach-infested Hollywood apartment. He is broke, having only about $106 in his bank account. He can't afford food for himself, let alone his beloved dog, a bull mastiff he named Butkus. With tears streaming down his face, he stands outside a 7-Eleven store in Los Angeles and sells his best friend his dog for $40 because he can't afford to feed him. Truly a heartbreaking true story. He later said, "I was at the very end of my rope," end quote. Most people would break at this point. Most people would quit the dream, move back home, accept that it wasn't meant to be. But on March 24, 1975, something happens that changes everything. He watches a boxing match between Muhammad Ali versus Chuck Wepner on a closed-circuit TV projection in a movie theater in Los Angeles. This fight took place at the Richfield Coliseum in Richfield, Ohio. Wepner is an unknown underdog boxer from New Jersey. Ali is the greatest. Wepner has no chance, but Wepner doesn't quit. He gets knocked down repeatedly but keeps getting back up. He goes the distance, 15 brutal rounds against the greatest boxer in the world, even knocking Ali down in the 9th round of the boxing match, although thought to be controversial. Our struggling actor sees this and has an epiphany. This is his story. Every rejection, every closed door, every night sleeping hungry, he kept getting back up. He rushes home to his tiny apartment and starts writing the same night. 3 days later, he has a complete screenplay about an underdog boxer from Philadelphia who gets a shot at the heavyweight championship, not to win, but just to prove he's not just another bum from the neighborhood. He gives the script a great name. The script is good, really good. The man pitched the script to producers Robert Chartoff and Irwin Winkler, United Artists affiliated producers. They read it and loved the story. United Artists offered $125,000. This was the first serious offer. That's life-changing money. He can pay his bills, get his dog back, support his family. But there's a catch. They don't want him to star in the movie. They want a real well-known movie star, Robert Redford, Ryan O'Neal, Burt Reynolds, someone with a Hollywood look. Now, think about this moment. He's broke. His wife is pregnant. He just sold his dog for $40. He's facing eviction. Someone is offering him $125,000 right now for a screenplay he wrote in 3 days. Every logical voice in his head is screaming, "Take the money." But he says no. The subsequent offers were $250,000, then $330,000, then $360,000, a fortune in 1975. Again, the same condition. They buy the script, but he does not star in the movie. This man again refused, even though he was broke, recently sold his dog to pay for food. His wife is pregnant. This refusal is one of the most famous turning points in Hollywood history. His agent thinks he's throwing away his only chance, but he stays consistent with his vision. He knows that if someone else plays in the movie, he'll spend the rest of his life wondering what if. Shattoff and Winkler admired this man's dedication and went back to United Artists to renegotiate. They said something like, "If you want the script, you have to let the man star in it." United Artists agreed with conditions. The production budget was cut from $2 million to $1 million, eventually lowered even further to $960,000. Why? Because giving the lead role to an unknown actor was seen as too risky. The final offer terms were the man keeps the role. This man receives $35,000 for the script. That's much less. Small percentage of profits, which later actually makes him a millionaire. Production budget / crew had to work quickly and cheaply. And here's the beautiful part. With his first paycheck, he goes back to that 7-Eleven store. He waits 3 days until he finds the man who bought his dog. And he buys Butkus back for $15,000. Now imagine that. He got $35,000 and out of that he paid $15,000 to get his dog back. That tells you how much he loved his dog. The dog Butkus appears in his movie. The film was shot in about 28 days. It premieres on November 21st, 1976. It becomes a cultural phenomenon. The movie became the #1 movie of 1976, won Best Picture, and turned him into an international star. The movie earns over $225 million worldwide, making it one of the most profitable films ever made. It's nominated for 10 Academy Awards and wins 3, including Best Picture. The man who couldn't get cast as Thug number 2 is now nominated for Best Actor and Best Original Screenplay the same year. Only the third person in history to achieve that, after Charlie Chaplin for The Great Dictator in 1940 and Orson Welles for Citizen Kane in 1941. Overnight, the man everyone rejected becomes one of the biggest movie stars in the world. That man's name? Sylvester Stallone. The movie? Rocky. Now remember this, sometimes life offers you a check, but what you really need is a chance. Sometimes the world tells you to sit down, but your destiny tells you to stand up. And sometimes, just like Stallone, your greatest victory comes right after your biggest refusal to quit. That is the birth of Rocky. Not just a movie, not just a character, but a symbol of what happens when you refuse to sell your dream. Even when that dream is the only thing you have left. Stallone's story isn't just inspiring, it teaches us the exact formula for building inner strength. These methods are backed by psychological research. Method number 1, attach your goal to your identity. Stallone didn't just want to be in a movie. He was Rocky Balboa. His struggle was Rocky's struggle. Research shows that when you tie your goals to your core identity rather than external outcomes, you're far more likely to stay consistent. You don't want to write. You are a writer. You don't want to get fit. You are an athlete. Ask yourself, what identity are you building? Who are you becoming through your daily actions? Method number 2, anchor new behaviors to existing routines. This is called habit stacking. Studies show that habits form through consistent repetition in the same situation. It takes about 66 days on average. This number comes from a 2009 study by Dr. Philippa Lally at University College London. The brain's basal ganglia, namely habit center, strengthens neural pathways through repetition tied to the same cue. Changing the context disrupts the cue and the habit often weakens. However, missing a day doesn't reset your progress. The study proved that too. One skip day didn't stop anyone from eventually forming a solid habit. It is said that Stallone wrote every single day, auditioned every single day, trained every single day. He didn't wait for motivation. He created a system. Pick one behavior you want to build. Attach it to something you already do automatically. After I pour my morning coffee, I will write for 10 minutes. After I brush my teeth, I will do 10 push-ups. After I wear my clothes, I'll meditate for 3 minutes. Make it so small you can't fail. Method number 3, focus on systems, not just goals. Stallone's goal wasn't just become famous. His system was write every day, audition every day, improve his craft every day, never compromise his vision. Even when he was broke, even when everyone said no, the system kept running. Goals are the destination. Systems are the vehicle. Remember that. Build systems that make consistency inevitable. As Stallone himself said, I am not the richest, smartest, or most talented person in the world, but I succeed because I keep going and going and going. End quote. Now watch out for these consistency derailers. Number 1, waiting for perfect conditions. Stallone didn't wait until he was ready or until circumstances were perfect. He wrote Rocky when he was homeless. He fought for his vision when he was broke. Perfect conditions never come. Start messy, start now. Number 2, comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. When Stallone was getting rejected, other actors were already famous. He could have spent his energy being bitter. Instead, he focused on his journey. Your timeline is yours alone. Stop comparing. Number 3, breaking the chain after one miss. Research shows that missing your habit once doesn't destroy it, but giving up after one miss does. Stallone missed auditions, had bad days, faced setbacks, but he never quit the system. If you miss a day, don't break the chain permanently. Remember that. Get back on track immediately. Now here's my challenge to you for the next 30 days. Choose one goal that matters deeply to you. Something that if you accomplished it would fundamentally change your life. Now apply Stallone's 3 methods. Number 1, tie it to your identity. Write down, I am a person who never gives up. Number 2, build a habit stack. Pick one tiny action you'll do every single day. Attach it to something you already do. Number 3, create a system. What will you do daily regardless of how you feel? Track your consistency for 30 days. Not perfection, consistency. Show up even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Remember Stallone's words. It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. End quote. Life will knock you down. The question isn't if you'll get hit, it's whether you'll get back up. Now click that video that appears on your screen. Drop a comment below telling me what's the one habit you're committing to for the next 30 days. If this story inspired you, smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Share this with someone who needs to hear it today. Your Rocky moment is waiting. Now go out there and make it happen. Move towards your destiny. I believe in you.